Hey, virtual reality enthusiasts, this is Danny with VR Punch, and today I wanted to talk about the PlayStation VR 2. Kind of a weird name, it just doesn't roll off the tongue as smooth as it should. Now, you probably all saw the videos about the specifications and the speculations about the price, but what I wanted to talk about is the PlayStation virtual reality platform itself. Why a company like Sony, that is one of the biggest players, if not the biggest right now in gaming, couldn't get a virtual reality right the first time, and what Sony can do to get it right the second time. PlayStation VR wasn't a commercial success, as by 2020, Sony released an update that 5 million headsets were sold. A big number, but compared to the more than 100 million PlayStations 4, we can see that Sony had a big flop in their hands. But why? It had great hardware foundation. Unlike the PC guys that had to upgrade their rigs in order to get their VR experience top notch, every PlayStation 4 was VR ready out of the box, just plug and play. The ease of use and the availability compared to other headsets should have made it the go-to headset, but something went wrong. First thing that pops to my mind is the lack of content. You can really count on one hand all the notable games that came out for the PlayStation 4, and none of them were made by Sony's biggest game developer. In my opinion, this was the major factor in the crumbling of the platform. I think Sony's executives didn't understand how VR is going to become mainstream in 2019 with the release of the Quest 2. Other issue, I think, was the lack of good motion controllers. Most games were played sitting down with a regular joystick, and don't get me started on those weird Hitachi vibrator things Sony called motion controllers. But all this was in the past, and now the PlayStation VR 2 is just behind the corner waiting with a baseball bat to blast all the Quest and the PSVR chads out of the water. I think Sony was just testing the water, and now they're going to take out the big guns. The specs talk about the crazy 20 by 2040 pixels per eye, giving the PlayStation VR 2 a better resolution than the Pimax 4K. It's crazy for a consumer-grade device. The added eye tracking is a cool feature that is available only in the niche headsets, and at 110-degree FOV, making it better than the Quest 2 in that category. Oh, and the most important feature is proper awesome looking motion controllers. But as history showed us, console wars were not won on hardware alone. A big library with quality games will get the PlayStation VR 2 its mainstream consumer VR product status. And on that front, Sony has some titans. The Gran Turismo series for the VR seamers, big developers like Naughty Dog, Sony's own studios, and more. If I was a PlayStation 5 owner, I'd totally save up for this headset. The specs alone are worth it. But what I predict, and only time will tell if I was right, is that Sony is going to surprise us all. I'm betting they're going to ride on a huge Sony exclusive game library that will use all of the hardware's potential. I hope I'm right. While we wait for the PlayStation VR 2 release, you can write what are your predictions for the games that will support the PlayStation VR 2. This was Danny with VR Punch. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please click that like button and consider subscribing. It helps me and the channel a lot. See you next time.